1972 was a year when music carried both power and soul. From funk grooves that shook the dance floor to soft rock ballads that lingered on the radio, these 10 songs defined an era of change and unforgettable sound. Number 10, Superstition by Stevie Wonder. It was the sound of funk colliding with the future. A growling clavinet riff at the center, a groove so sharp it cut straight through radio speakers. Superstition became one of the defining tracks of the year. Stevie originally wrote it with guitarist Jeff Beck in mind, but after jamming the idea in the studio, he decided to keep it for himself. That choice turned out to be pivotal. Recorded at Electric Lady Studios in New York, the track fused gritty funk with Motown polish, creating a sound unlike anything else on the charts. When it hit the airwaves in late '72, it shot straight to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. More than just a hit single, it marked the moment Stevie Wonder fully stepped into his creative prime, a song that captured the spirit of innovation driving the entire decade forward. Very superstitious. Number 9, Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Sometimes the simplest songs carry the deepest weight. With nothing more than a piano-driven melody and Bill Withers' warm, unshakable voice, Lean on Me became a hymn of unity in 1972. Withers wrote it after moving from the close-knit community of his West Virginia hometown to Los Angeles, where he felt the absence of neighborly support. That longing shaped the song's spirit, straightforward, honest, and comforting. Always tomorrow, lean on me. Released on the Still Bill album, it climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making Withers one of the few singer-songwriters who could blend folk intimacy with soul power. The recording itself was modest, tracked in Los Angeles with a handful of trusted musicians, but its message carried further than any grand production could. If I have things you need to buy. Number 8, American Pie by Don McLean. In 1972, few songs felt as much like a national conversation as American Pie. At over 8 minutes long, it wasn't just a single. It was a story that stretched across decades of American music and memory. Though released at the tail end of '71, it dominated the charts into the new year, holding the number 1 spot for 4 straight weeks in early 1972. McLean's recording sessions at the record plant in New York captured a performance that was both intimate and epic, weaving folk storytelling into a pop framework that somehow found massive mainstream success. Over you, crying. Listeners argued endlessly over the lyrics, whether they pointed to Buddy Holly, Bob Dylan, or the broader cultural shifts of the '60s. But that mystery was part of its charm. On jukeboxes, radios, and living rooms, American Pie became a shared puzzle that united generations in reflection. By the time it faded from the airwaves, it had already secured its place as one of the most iconic recordings of the decade. Bloody rose lie crushed and broken on the virgins. Number 7, I'll Be Around by the Spinners. Philadelphia's soul scene was on fire in the early '70s, and I'll Be Around was one of its brightest sparks. With its silky groove and heartfelt delivery, the Spinners turned a modest B-side into a timeless classic. The song was cut at Philly's famed Sigma Sound Studios, where producer Tom Bell paired lush string arrangements with a gently rolling bass line. Unlike the high-energy disco tracks that would soon dominate, this one leaned on restraint, every instrument leaving space for Bobby Smith's tender lead vocal to shine.
Sparks turn into flames, and love can burn.
Originally tucked on the flip side of How Could I Let You Get Away, radio DJs began spinning I'll Be Around instead, and it quickly climbed the charts. By the end of 1972, it had reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped the R&B chart, cementing the spinner's place among soul's elite. Decades later, its smooth elegance still stands as a hallmark of Philly soul, proof that sometimes the quietest moments leave the deepest mark. Number 6. You Are the Sunshine of My Life by Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder's gift was making love songs feel universal, and You Are the Sunshine of My Life glowed with that unmistakable warmth. It wasn't flashy or experimental, it was tender, direct, and carried by a melody that felt instantly familiar. The track first appeared on his Talking Book album in late 1972, recorded at Electric Lady Studios in New York. Unlike many singles of the time, it opened with other vocalists, Jim Gilstrap and Laney Groves, before Stevie's voice entered, giving the song a communal, almost conversational feel. Though it wouldn't become a single until 1973, radio play began building early, and the song quickly became associated with the romantic spirit of the era. Its soft electric piano tones and gentle percussion gave it a breezy intimacy, a contrast to the heavier funk and rock anthems surrounding it. By the time it hit number 1, it was already clear. This wasn't just another Stevie hit. It was a love song for the ages. I find myself drowning in mountains. We're halfway through the countdown, and 1972 is already coming back to life. From Stevie Wonder's funk grooves to the soul of Bill Withers and the storytelling of Don McLean. But now it's your turn. Which of these songs brings back the strongest memory for you? Or maybe there's another track from 1972 that you think deserves a spot on this list. Drop your favorite 72 song or story in the comments. I'd love to hear what still sticks with you.
I feel like this is the beginning.
Number 5. Heart of Gold by Neil Young.
I wanna give. I've been a miner for.
When Neil Young released Heart of Gold in 1972, it felt like the sound of a restless artist finally slowing down to let the world catch up. Stripped of distortion and feedback, it leaned on acoustic guitar, gentle harmonica, and Young's unmistakable voice. Fragile, but piercingly direct.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
The song was recorded in Nashville at Quadraphonic Sound Studios, with James Taylor and Linda Ronstadt adding soft harmonies that gave it an extra layer of warmth. Unlike the sweeping productions dominating radio, Heart of Gold was understated, almost minimalist, and that intimacy was its strength.
In my mind, I still need a place to go.
Listeners responded immediately. The single climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Young's only chart topper in the U.S. For a moment, his folk sensibility cut through the noise of a changing musical landscape.
I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood.
Number 4. I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash.
Bright sunshine in it.
Few songs carried as much optimism in 1972 as Johnny Nash's I Can See Clearly Now. With its breezy rhythm and radiant melody, it was a track that seemed to clear the skies for anyone who heard it. Nash recorded the song in London with a mix of American and Jamaican musicians, blending pop sensibility with the rising influence of reggae. That fusion gave the track its unique feel, light on its feet, but grounded in a groove that reflected where popular music was heading.
It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
When it was released, the song soared straight to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, staying there for 4 weeks. It wasn't just a hit. It became a soundtrack of hope during a turbulent time, its message of clarity and renewal resonating across generations.
It had me blind. It's gonna be a bright.
Number 3, a haunting groove that stretched for minutes before a single word was sung. Papa Was a Rollin' Stone wasn't built for quick radio play. It was an atmosphere, a story told through sound.
Yes, I will, 'cause that was the day that my day.
Recorded at Motown's Hitsville West Studios in Los Angeles, the track featured the Funk Brothers laying down one of their most hypnotic performances. Strings, wah-wah guitars, and a deep bass line pulled listeners into a world of tension before the vocals finally arrived. Lyrically, it was a stark departure from the love songs that had defined much of the Temptations' career. The verses told a story of absence, struggle, and unanswered questions, delivered with raw conviction. At 12 minutes long in its full version, it blurred the line between single and cinematic suite. Released in late 1972, it climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned 3 Grammys. More than just a hit, it became a landmark, proof that soul music could be expansive, daring, and unforgettable.
Folks say Papa would beg, borrow, steal, pay his bill.
Number 2, Ben by Michael Jackson.
Found what we were looking for.
In 1972, a 14-year-old Michael Jackson stepped out from the Jackson 5 with a ballad that surprised almost everyone. Ben wasn't a dance track or a pop anthem. It was a tender, emotional song that revealed a depth far beyond his years.
My friend will see you've got a friend in me.
Written for the film of the same name, a movie about a boy and his pet rat, the lyrics could have seemed odd. But Jackson's delivery transformed it. His voice carried innocence and sincerity, making the song feel less about its unusual subject and more about loyalty, friendship, and love. Recorded in Los Angeles under the guidance of producer Jerry Marcelino, the track was given a lush orchestral arrangement that surrounded Michael's vocal without overwhelming it. Listeners connected instantly, and Ben climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving him his first solo chart topper.
Listen to a word they say.
For many, it marked the moment when Michael Jackson stopped being just a child star and began his journey toward becoming one of music's greatest voices. Number 1, I'll Take You There by the Staple Singers. Few songs in 1972 carried as much uplift as I'll Take You There. With its gospel roots and undeniable groove, it bridged the church and the dance floor, offering hope wrapped in rhythm.
I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you there.
The track was recorded at the legendary Muscle Shoals Sound Studio in Alabama, where producer Al Bell encouraged the band to keep the arrangement simple but powerful. A steady bass line, organ swells, and hand claps gave the song its backbone, while Mavis Staples' commanding voice lifted it into something transcendent. When it was released, the single shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, staying there for a week and becoming the group's signature song. Its message was clear: music could be both spiritual and social, a unifying force in a time of change.
The world back was like it did when you first come here.